Hello everybody, and today we are going to solve a challenge which is provided by the free code camp for the neural networks of SMS text classifier, where we have to classify the messages provided by the dataset provided by the free code camp, that either it's spam or not spam. So ham messages or spam messages. This is what it's written over there. It's not spam over there. And well, today we will be solving the same challenge on the Google Collaboratory. So if you will see, then the this is how the code is provided. So this is everything is provided by the free code camp itself. This we don't have to write, but I have changed something. So this is my code where I have done. So I have not used this one because every time to run this, we need to install everything. And if you are on the collaboratory, you don't need to install anything because the server provides everything previously. So you just have to use. So you should know what to use, but you should not worry about installing and not pip install and all. So I have imported whatever the requirement was, like TensorFlow, Pandas, Keras, datasets from TFDS. So as a TFDS, so this TensorFlow datasets is having various datasets available with them. So you can use to learn during your studies. So this is a very good datasets provided, and everything over there is like labeled enough, so you don't have to worry about that. But you could not use in the real life because in the real life the scenarios are different, the environment is different. So you should use it to learn, but not in the real life. But you should know how your models should work, and also in that case we use this TensorFlow datasets. And NumPy, as you know, is for the numerical calculations. The TensorFlow version which I'm using is 2.4.1, and here the datasets is how they have provided, but I have imported it like read CSV because it's easier for me. Maybe you can go with this also, like train data URL, test data URL, train path, test path. So it's basically the same, but I used it the pandas because it's easier, and while learning for the machine learning I have used pandas, so it's easier for me as well. So that's why I have used it. Now on the next line I have given if the label is ham, I have saved it in the ham messages. If the label is spam, I have saved it in the spam messages, and converted it into a list. So, and after that I have used a word cloud. The word cloud is used to show what are the words in there which are most used words. So if you will not use this, then also you will pass the challenge, but it's better to see how your data is and what it looks like. So, and we don't need to use the axis, so I have used the axis to be off. So this is the most used words in the ham messages, I think. Ham messages, yes. So in the ham messages, this is the most used word, while in the spam messages, like the same thing is done in the spam as well. So in the spam messages, this is the most used word, like free, mobile, customer service messages. So these are all you used in the spam messages. So this is how our spam ham messages used, like ham. The label will be ham, as we are seeing just the ham messages. That's the reason. And here I have tried to uh, get the shape of both the messages, like ham messages and spam messages. And as to train a model to predict to train a good model, we should have the both spam messages and the ham messages in the same amount, because if you are training a model only with the spam messages or only with the ham messages, then there are chances that the machine will not predict. It will only predict the ham messages because it had never seen what the spam looks like, or it will only train on the spam messages and it don't know how the ham looks like. So it's mandatory that we should normalize the data. So now after that we get the data to be 560. So now it's normalized, and then I have appended in a message df name, and the ham messages is appended on the spam messages. So now we are having a message data frame which is having both ham messages and spam messages in the same amount. So now we are good to go. Now, no, not good to go, because still we are having some things to do. So in the message df, the labels, I have used the label ham to be 0 and spam to be 1. So if the message is a spam message, we will get 1. If the message is a ham message, we will get 0. So here if you see, I want to go to Perambur. So this is a ham message, well, free message, single. Find a partner in your area. So if you are looking for a partner, so if you get this type of messages, so it's a spam message, don't go with that. So never reply to these messages, because maybe you can get in trouble. So whatever it's that. So here the same thing with the df2. df2 is my the train data. Now, with the help of this, we are just using the values, like we'll get the arrays after that. And previously we was having the lists of these things. So now we are having the array of things. Now, here I have used the vocabulary size to be 500. You can use whatever size you want, but it's mandatory. It is good to use the smaller vocabulary size, because if you are using every word in the vocabulary, then you may be like overtraining the model. You are getting everything in that. And I have used the maximum length to be 70, because this was the maximum length in the dataset. I don't know if I have checked it, or maybe I have, because this is my third or fourth time I'm doing this. So maybe in the previous one I could have done that, but the maximum size I have used 70, because this was the maximum size in the data set, so that's why. And padding is a post, like after the message you will padding 000. So if some sentences are lesser than 70, so we will provide padding in that, so that the data set is of the same size. It's not like you can use 5, 10, 15. So neural network will not work like that. Now we have used tokenizer. So the use of tokenizer is to tokenize the words. And OOV token, this is like if there is space or any special character in that, so we will use it with the OOV token. And here OOV, this is the symbol we used for the OOV, like space and all. So OOV is the we will be using over there. And this will be like, mostly it is one only. After that we will get to any tokenization. So see, OOV is 1, and remaining all the words 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these are all tokenized from here. Now total words comes also the number of words in there. So there are 399 unique tokens in the training data. Now here text to sequences is used to, like whatever the tokens we have over here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever token we have, we will convert it into a sequence. So we will get a sentence from them. So here if you will see, like I have used training padded 0. So training padded this one. After padding, like after the sequencing, we pad the things, because it should be of the same size as I said earlier. So dataset should be of the same size. So here after padding, if you see that this is a sentence which we are getting, and after that everything is padded. The length will be 70, uh, but you are getting my point, right? So it's a 70 of the length, and this is the words. So if you will use some other, so you will get some other maybe. So but the length will be same. So the sentence is now bigger, but the length is same. Now the shape after padding is 70, because we have used the after padding, so we have used the maximum length to be 70. So all the sentences are of the same length. So training tenses are of the 70, and testing sentences are as well of the 70. Now the vocab size is like the length of the total word index plus 1, because plus 1 is for we have defined it earlier as well, and the plus 1 is basically like for OOV tokens. And the dimensions is 24. Dropouts is for the dropout. If you know the neural networks, if you have ever seen, the dropout is a technique where we drop some layers if it's not been used or it's doing something different. And then dense layers we are using 24. So here callbacks is early stopping, we will be using LSTM, dropouts bidirectional. So in the dropout only we use the drop values and all. So this is our model. So with the help of model.sequential, we can call the model, like from here we can now once we call the sequential, we are ready to prepare our own model. So first is the embedded model, then global average pooling, then dense layer, then dropout, then again dense layer, and then here compile. To compile the model, I have used binary cross entropy. So this is the loss, how it will be, the loss will be counted. And the optimizer is Adam optimizer. You can use other optimizers as well, but Adam is like most advanced one, so up until now. So that's why I have used Adam. Accuracy, matrix is accuracy, loss or whatever you want, but accuracy is the, here accuracy is only required because if the words are more accurate, then it's good to use. Now the summary of the model, like embedding is 9600, global average pooling is 0, dense is 600, dropouts are 0, dense 125. This is how our model will look like. So these are all the graphs, how the graphs are made. So this is what it is. And then here, if I'll have to training padded and epochs. So number of epochs over here to think is that the number of epochs are like how many times I want the model to be trained, like how many times my model will go from input to output. So this is what the number of epochs is. And validation data is the testing. I have used the testing as a validation. So if it is working well on the testing data, then I will directly go over there. I have not used the train test split, but if you want, you can do this also, like with the scikit-learn train test and split function. You can split the data set and use like 80-20 or 30-70, whatever you want. You can use it for the testing and you can put it over here. Now, so here early stop with another callback is early stop. So early stopping is like if it reaches to the patience level of 3, so the validation loss, it reaches over there, so it will stop over there. If the chance, if it will not, then it will not stop. So I have used the 30 number of epochs over here. So this 30, if you see, my model ran for 20 times and 19 20 times. So from start from to 19 times, and as soon as it reached the patience level of 3, so it just stopped training from there. And evaluated, if I'm evaluating, I'm getting an accuracy of 96, so which is not that good, but it's good. And another model I have trained over here with the same things, but this was not used because it stopped in like 3 epochs, so, and the accuracy is also like 93. So why to go with the 93 when we have the 96 over here? So that's why I was like, okay, go with that only. And another things, like if you see the 3 times, if you see like 96 96 96, so it could be thinking what the patience is, like 3 times only. So 96 96 96 it went, so it was like, okay, now you are not going anywhere over there, so okay, stop over here. That's why I stopped over here. And this is just the what's the accuracy we get, so it is 93.67. And if you see the loss, it's like the average of everything. So here it's the last loss is 0.1173, but here it's 26 because like it takes the average of everything, so it goes like that. Now we have the model, like we will go with the model 1 only. So here I have just like this is all provided by them only. This I have used like while checking if it's my model is working or not. But here I have used, like if the answer is less than like 0.5, like if you see in my model, the last level will be having where is the model, sigmoid. So activation function is sigmoid. So if the activation function is giving something more than 0.5, it's spam, and ham less than 0.5, it's a spam, and more than, then it's a ham, and if it's more than 5, then it's spam. And we get the results, and I will upload it on the GitHub. And thank you.